2 pieces of plywood, $3 of material, sells for $35. If you own a laser cutter, this forest and wolf piece is exactly the kind of product I'd be making right now, and I'll show you why it works, who buys it, and how I'd price and position it to actually move units. The design is only 2 layers, a background and the front art. That simplicity is the whole point. Fast cuts, almost no waste, and the margin stays where you want it. The file is free in the description. Let's build it. Before cutting, I lightly sand the plywood. Nothing aggressive, I just want to remove any small imperfections from the surface and get everything nice and smooth before we start. Once that's done, it's ready for the laser. I cut the background first, then the front art layer. And look at these edges. Really clean cuts, almost no residue. And that's especially important on a product like this because all of these small details are going to stay visible in the finished piece. Once both layers are cut, we can move on to the stain. The important thing here is contrast. If you use exactly the same shade on both layers, the design can disappear into the background. So I like using 2 different tones. For this one, I'm going with a lighter background and a darker stain on the forest and wolf layer. And here's a small trick that makes working with pieces like this much easier. If you're staining, painting, or sanding a small piece and it keeps moving around, put some masking tape on your work surface and place the part directly onto it. It holds everything in place while you're working and you don't have to chase the piece around the table. Now I apply the first coat of stain. I keep it pretty light and work it evenly across the surface. Once that dries, I apply a second coat. You can obviously add more coats if you want a darker finish. Just keep going until you get the look you want. I do the same thing with the background, just using the lighter shade. And once both pieces are completely dry, we're ready for final assembly. First, I place the background inside the frame. Then I position the forest and wolf layer on top and glue it directly to the background. Take your time here and make sure everything is aligned properly before the glue sets. And that's it. Our finished wall art is done. Now let's talk about selling it. If you want to sell this type of product, I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make is creating one design and stopping there. You need to specialize. Pick one niche and create at least 10 different designs that all feel like they belong in the same collection. For example, if you choose this outdoor and wildlife style, you could make a wolf, bear, deer, mountains, pine forest, eagle, cabin, and other designs that appeal to the same type of customer. Now, when somebody finds one product they like, they can look through your shop and immediately find several more that match the same style. And this is important. You can't upload 20 completely unrelated products, one wall art, one pair of earrings, some coasters, a toy, a box, and expect to build a strong shop around that. In most cases, that makes it much harder. Choose a niche, understand that customer, and build a collection specifically for them. Once you have those 10 or more connected designs, you can absolutely list them on Etsy, your own website, or wherever you prefer to sell. For a smaller shelf-size piece like this, I would probably start around $35. That gives you a relatively easy entry price while you're building sales and reviews. But this is where wall art gets really interesting. As you increase the size, your material cost doesn't increase anywhere near as quickly as the selling price can. Make it twice as large and your cost goes up, of course, but the perceived value goes up much faster. Now, something you were selling for $35 could potentially become a $70, $100, or even higher priced product depending on the design, size, finish, and presentation. And this is why I really like wall art. You can use almost the same production process for a small shelf piece and a large statement piece, but they can sit in completely different price categories. And in one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to show you something even more interesting. There are similar 3D layered wall art products being sold for $300 to $400. I want to break down what makes those products different, how they're presented, and why customers are willing to pay that much. So if you want to see that, subscribe so you don't miss it. And if this video gave you an idea, like the video as well. It really helps the channel. That's day 19 of our 100 days, 100 laser products challenge. 81 products to go. I'll see you tomorrow for day 20.